All right, man. First and foremost, thank you for coming on the platform, man. I see you making some major moves out there, so I had to reach out to you, man. Chop it up with you one time.
Hey man, it's a pleasure. It's midnight over here, but I was like, man, we gotta chop up a little bit.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Now, where you originally from?
So I'm from the States, man. I'm American. I've been over like I was raised all over the country. So East Coast, a little bit of West Coast, a little bit of Texas. So I don't really like claim one city. You know what I'm saying? I got family spread across the country.
I can dig it. I can dig it. So, traveling for you, did it start like in childhood? Is that where you kind of
Now,
got into it?
I mean, not international travel. So like stateside travel, yeah, I was doing a good amount of that since I can remember. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like getting on a plane, getting on that bird, and going somewhere else that wasn't part of the states, I didn't do that until I was like 18. You know what I'm saying?
Dig it. I can dig it. I mean, man, at least you got started though, because some people don't. Some people. I'm from Cleveland, so it's people that never left Cleveland in their life. They don't even go to
Right.
the West Side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I dig it, man. Any big city, is cats who like, yeah, man, I stay on the south side. I don't mess with the north or, what have you. So yeah, it's sad that certain folks are kind of limited in their thinking. That they're just like, okay, literally a few blocks from where I'm at is all I'm supposed to see, and everything else, is for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? It's a very limited mentality.
I can dig it, man. Now let me see. You a bona fide world traveler. So I know you said you started when you was 18, going internationally. Was it like something specifically that sparked that, or was it something like you had been planning? Like, as soon as I get 18, I'm about to hit the gate.
Hey, that's a great question, man. I'll say since I was small, I was blessed that you know, uh, one of my folks is a teacher. You know what I'm saying? So like growing up in the house, we always had encyclopedias and stuff. We always had like, the globe back in the day when you used to be in a classroom, they had the globe you could spin. So we had one of those in the house. I'm talking about when I'm 4 or 5 years old. So I was always like, spinning that globe and like put my finger, what is this? Oh, Australia. Spinning it around. What is this? France. So I always had that curiosity since I was kind of small. And the first real trip that I took was from California. You have the border. If you're in Southern California, you got the border. You could go to Mexico. Like you could walk there. You know what I'm saying? You could take a city bus and then just literally walk across and then walk your ass back the same, afternoon. So that was the first time that I went anywhere overseas.
Oh, that's dope, man. I could relate, man, because I'm a world traveler too. So, like, when I was young, I could remember being like fascinated with the globe and the map. Like, I used to really look at it, whereas like other people, it didn't really mean nothing to them. Where it was like, that's a map, you know what I'm saying? But I used to be
For
looking at it
sure.
like, what is this place or that place?
Like
So,
it sounded like for you it was something real, and for them it's just like something out of a storybook. Like it doesn't manifest in their reality. But you were like, okay, these are actual places, they're actual people here, and you had that curiosity. It sounds like.
yeah, man, definitely. Because I started traveling young. Because I've always lived in Cleveland, but my mom, she used to drive a Greyhound, so she would take back then. I guess I don't know if they allowed it or not, but she'd take like me and my brothers and sisters, put us on the bus while she
Word.
driving, and we'd go to like Chicago or
Okay.
Detroit or Cincinnati, like somewhere where it was like 4 or 5 hours, maybe 6 hours at the most. You know
Yeah,
what
but
I'm
you was making moves. You was at least getting off the block, getting out the neighborhood, and that's something
saying?
many
Yeah.
people don't have as youngsters.
Yeah, man. People don't realize what they missing, man. Let me see. Now I gotta ask you this. Now, how many countries have you been to?
Oh man, we're gonna have to get the drum roll going. Um, right now, I believe it's 70. I believe it's like exactly 70. Maybe it's 68. But I think I hit 70.
Right, that's what's up,
Yeah.
man. That's phenomenal. Cause I'm at like 70. Cause I found you on
Oh damn.
you was on my
Okay.
man show King Gonda.
Yes, sir. O'Shea. Yeah.
Yeah, cause I was out there. I was in Uganda like I think like around May or something, and I was on the show. So every now and then I try to catch an episode, and I was checking out what y'all was talking about. I'm like, yeah, that's how I got hip to you. But 70,
Okay.
that's phenomenal. Cause I'm looking
That's
at
what's up.
somebody else doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Well, I'm curious about your 70. Is a lot of your 70 Africa, or is it just kind of spread across the globe?
It's all around. I've been to maybe like 20 African countries. That's where I want to
Okay.
live. I want to
Well, salute
relocate.
to that, man. That's
Yeah.
major. Who can really say that? I mean, you got 99% of Africans can't say that, man. 20 different countries.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're gonna get into it, man. So let me see. Now, right now, I was gonna ask you, like, yeah. So you've been to 70 countries, man. What do that feel like? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm checking you out. Because you know when you in the middle of doing something, sometimes you don't get a reflection or a observation from the outside
Sure,
looking in.
sure. Yeah, man. Like I said, it's a blessing. I try to stay cognizant of that everybody doesn't get to do this, and I'm in a very good position. Obviously, I had to put myself in that position, but you know how fate works out. Um, So every place I go, it obviously is going to broaden my horizon, make me see the world a different way. You can look at the news when you've only been to two countries in one way, and then once you've been to 30 countries, you're going to look at the news in a whole nother light, man. It's like night and day. You can never go back. Like I hate to use the cliche of the red pill and the blue pill because it's been done to death. But I mean, I don't have anything better. It's like to go even back further, it's like, jumping through the looking glass or whatever. Like once you cross over to the other side, you just can't go back to it. And I feel like travel in some ways is addicting, just like anything can be addicting. But out of all the things to be addicted to, I mean, it's better than pills, it's better than Sherm, it's better than so many other vices. You know what I mean? I mean, travel isn't even a vice, you know what I'm saying? So it's a positive I feel like addiction, if you want to call it that, to wanting to see the world around you, to want to explore it, have a better understanding of it, and not just be limited to wherever you were born at.
Yeah, man, definitely. Because I know for myself, like sometimes I end up in the country and then I'll be surprised because it may not be a country that everybody's talking about or everybody would
Mhm.
even recognize. Like I went to Cape Verde. The average
Okay.
person, they probably never even heard of Cape Verde. But I went there, I'm like, I want to live here. This is the greatest place on earth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Did you do any videos out there?
I did like a cost of living video. Like
Okay, I'd
my
be curious to watch
photography
that.
game, yeah, my photography game ain't that great, so I should have a lot more content for traveling, but I
Yes.
don't. But I did do like a cost of living video, and it
Okay.
was just a phenomenal. Have you been to Cape Verde?
No, sir. That's why I was curious because earlier this week I had a conversation with a couple partners who brothers living on the continent from the states, and Cape Verde came up a few times. And there's a guy, I think his name is DJP. I forget what it stands for, but he was just there in July and he did a really good video. Like you could see what things look like. Like he's on the beach, he's walking around, he speaks Portuguese, he's speaking to people. He lives in Brazil, and so I was watching that last night. So it's funny that you mentioned Cape Verde, but no, I haven't been there.
Wow, yeah, that was what I was about to say. I don't know if he said it in the video, but I studied abroad in Brazil for a semester. So I was
Okay.
living there, going to school, and then Cape Verde, I probably been like 5 or 6 times. So
Wow.
the language is similar, the culture is similar. So like how Brazilian women look, that's how women in Cape Verde look, like with
For
the
sure.
curly afros and stuff. They
Yes,
fine, they
sir.
real fine. But the only difference, like from my
It's
perspective,
small, right?
Brazil, it's small and it's not a lot of people there. It's like 10 different islands you could live on, but most of the people live on Santiago, the main island. But
Yeah.
I was gonna say like Brazil, kind of like America, like it's kind of dangerous. Like it's a lot of
Sure.
violent
Yeah.
crime. It's a lot of
Yeah.
even racism. But Cape Verde is not. The crime is real low. You know what I'm saying? Especially like violent
Okay.
crime and stuff like that. And it's like a lot slower.
Mhm.
So
It's more like the way I see it. I haven't been there, but it seems like it's more like leaning towards Europe. Like as far as like lifestyle and stuff, like it's more connected to Portugal than it is to the Americas, to Brazil and whatnot.
yeah, the influence is definitely there. Let me see. Now I can ask you that. Like, was it what countries have you visited where you was like kind of surprised? Like, oh man, I didn't know I was in for this. Like in a good way though.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna get to that question too. I just want to say, like, your 20 African countries. is very impressive to me. Right now, I think I'm at 9. So
Okay. Okay.
I'm trying to catch up to you, man. By the end of shoot, I'll say by the springtime, I think I would have been. I'll get close to you. I won't hit 20 by the spring, but the goal is I'm probably going to add like 7 more countries. So anybody, if they're a viewer of my channel or if they would like to view my channel currently, I'm traveling around Africa, and the goal is to be on the continent for minimum 365 days, one whole year.
Wow.
And it could turn into more than that, man, because who knows? I could fall in love with the continent and just say, like, 1 year is not enough. I need to go for 2. And, who knows? So just stay tuned, watch it. Like you mentioned, you like to go to countries people don't always go to, like Cape Verde. Some people never even heard of that country, right? Well, I got some content coming out. I haven't posted it yet, but I was in a country nobody goes to. I'm talking about even YouTubers who be like, I'm an African YouTuber. I go everywhere. Like, nah, they didn't go here, man. um, this country is Burundi. Burundi. Yeah. Almost nobody goes there. So yeah, you can look out for content coming from there on my channel. You're gonna have content from Kenya, so many places, man. I'm not gonna list them all. I want y'all to be surprised a little bit when y'all see some of the
Right.
places I pop up in.
Yeah, that's dope. I haven't been to Burundi. I was supposed to go. I think because let me see. I was in Dubai, then I went to
Okay.
Ethiopia, then I left Ethiopia and went to Uganda, then I went to Rwanda. Then I was gonna
Uh-huh.
try to like catch the bus, but it was gonna sometimes when you go from one African country to the other, if you try to fly, it'd be too expensive. So
Yeah,
I'm
it'd be
like,
crazy. It's crazy sometimes. Yeah, it's crazy. You'd
so
be like, hold up, like for this price, I could fly to France or something like that. Sometimes in the country just right next door. It doesn't make
yeah.
sense. They need to fix that. But that's another discussion.
It would have been a lot cheaper to fly to Europe, like you say. So I just,
Hmm.
instead of
Yeah.
going to Burundi, I went to like Zanzibar, which was
Okay.
great, So yeah,
Dig
that's
it. Dig
cool.
it.
That's dope. Let me see. Yeah, man, you gonna surpass me with the 20, man. Just keep going, man. Shit,
We'll see. Like
that's
I said, I
motivating.
got a year. So right now
Hmm.
I'm about 3 months into it. So I got about 9 months left. So I think in 9 months I can hit another like 9 countries because I don't like to go fast. You
Yeah,
know,
I feel you.
there are some places, of course, if it's like a tiny island, yeah, I'm not going to spend, a whole month there. But in general, I like to kind of go a little bit slower because I feel like if I only got a week somewhere, if I only got 10 days, like, you know, um, it doesn't leave a lot of wiggle room, because let's say I get sick, right? And I'm sick for
Hmm.
4 days, that can happen at any time.
Yeah.
That's half my time in the country. What can I really say about the place? I've been there 5 days, and really experienced it. So because of that, I like to give myself a little bit of a buffer, at least several weeks in a place. But I wasn't always like that. You know what I'm saying? Like when I first started traveling, I might not have had that luxury. So, you do what you can. I might have been some places only like, 6, 7 days in El Salvador, for example, or Nicaragua.
Hmm.
Maybe I didn't spend a month there, but I got to see the highlights. You feel me?
Yeah, it be like that sometime when you moving. That's dope, man. Let me see. Now, do you got any like favorite countries? I don't know if I asked you
Okay.
that already.
Yeah, you did. I was coming back around to it.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
yeah.
keeping me on track. So my favorite countries, man, that's really tough. I would say, I guess you would say your favorite countries are the ones you visited multiple times. Not always, but just off the top of my head, I've been to Thailand 3 times. So Thailand is, it's a unique blend. You kind of got a little bit of everything there. If you like Thai food, the food is fire. If you like, beaches, what do I need to say about Thailand beaches? You already know, right?
Hmm.
If you like the city vibes, you got Bangkok, one of the biggest cities in the world. If you like the laid back type vibe, you got Chiang Mai. So there's something for everyone. You got little islands, you got the mainland. So it's just a lot of variety. You can't go to Thailand on one trip and be like, I know Thailand. Like, nah, like a tiny bit. It's just like somebody coming to America and they're like, I've been in New York. I know all about the states. It's like,
Right.
nah, you really don't, man. You really don't. You gotta snip it, right? So I say Thailand is one of my favorite places. Ethiopia as well. I've been to Ethiopia twice, and I'm ready to go for the third time. That's another place where it's low key. It's not going to be for everybody, but the culture there is very strong and very well preserved. because, as you probably know, it's one of the only countries to not be colonized in Africa. So because of that, you're not getting much different culture from what it was 100 years ago, because outside forces didn't really influence it. In the capital, yes, but like once you get outside the capital, it's like you went back to the same culture from 100 years ago. Yes, they got roads and stuff like that. I'm not saying like that, but I mean like the mentality and the values are still there. Like, it's been hard to penetrate that country because there wasn't a common language. Like the French didn't come in, the British didn't come in, and on and on and on. So to me, that's really cool. Also, like the some of the sites there, that the historical sites. Like you got a
Hmm.
place called Lalibela, which a lot of people don't know about it. To me, man, this place should be more well known than Don't tell me the name of the place. The Machu Picchu. To me, I went to Machu Picchu and I went to Lalibela. Lalibela to me, like, destroyed it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody and their mama heard of that. They need to know about Lalibela. Lalibela is crazy. Just the architecture is impressive, man. The whole thing is carved out of stone. Like you got to think with old style technology, how they did that, and the dedication and the devotion. It's really a crime that more people haven't seen it. So I said Thailand, I said Ethiopia, Spain. To me, also, Spain is a really interesting place. Like as far as Europe goes, it's a warmer climate. You got the beaches, like I said, you got the history, you got and you got all the flavors from the immigrants from all around the world, because you can go there and not just deal with Spanish people. You could be dealing with man, pretty much any place you can think of. You're gonna find those people somewhere in Spain. So it's a very unique place. Another one is Mexico, of course. Like I said, Mexico's like the first place I started traveling to when I was 18. So I would say, I've been there more times than I can count, and it's a huge country. So just because you've been to Cabo, you've been to Cancun or whatever, it's different from Mexico City, which is different from Oaxaca, which is different from, on and on and on. Monterrey, like you could go all around Mexico for a year, just hitting different cities before you would exhaust, even a portion of it. Similar to the States, it's a really massive place.
And that's what's up. Yeah, you named some nice spots. I know with Ethiopia, man. I love Ethiopia. Like you said, the culture and women
Yeah,
so
man.
beautiful, man. I know,
Oh,
like I don't know, like I could be in a slump. Like you having a bad day or whatever's going on. I know when I walk outside through Ethiopia, it's like it's just to see them beautiful women. It just brighten
yes,
up my
sir.
day. Like I can't be tripping. You know what I'm saying? Right now,
Yeah.
these fine women, man. I love
Yeah, and the
Ethiopia.
attitudes are great, man. They have their culture, and it's refreshing, man. That's all I can really say. It's so refreshing because you don't have that in so many places.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It don't hit the same, but like you say, refreshing. That's the perfect word. That's
Yes,
what's up,
sir.
man. Let me see now. And I know people ask you this a lot. Do you have like any bad experience or a country where you like I ain't going there no more?
Oh man, let me think about that one. A bad experience. Okay, I could pull something out of my hat. So Bulgaria to me was it was a place I could have skipped. Now it wasn't all bad, but in general, like the people, they're just kind of moody. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody's really happy like that. Really depressed. Like I was there in the summertime in July. You would think, the sun is shining. You got the beach right there. They have actually pretty good beaches for the Black Sea, which you got Romania, which is above Bulgaria, and the beaches in Bulgaria are way better than the ones in Romania. But the
Wow.
Romanians, they have more life in them, more energy, and the women look better too. So I was expecting
Dig
Romania
it.
to be like basically, I mean, I was expecting Bulgaria to be like Romania, but with nicer beaches. And nah, it was completely different. It felt like, that old Soviet feel where everybody's just like depressed and,
Right.
alcoholics and stuff and, wanting to fight and all that type of stuff. Like nobody, there was no violence or nothing like that. There was no crazy racism. I can't say that, but it just was uh, you didn't feel welcome there. Like I said, nobody was racist. Nobody, talked crazy, but you didn't feel welcome there. And it's a hustle. It's like a swindler culture. Like nobody trusts anybody. Like they rip off each other. So imagine a foreigner. You feel me? So because
Mhm.
of that, I would say it's not a place that I would want to go back to. But it wasn't the worst place in the world.
I can dig it. I can dig it. Now I know you said you got some stuff planned, so I know you don't want to give it away, but maybe if you could think of, is it like maybe one country that you haven't been to that you like, man, I
Oh
want to get there, but I just ain't made it happen yet.
yeah. Yeah, so this one, I guess I was keeping this close to my chest, but they'll see. I may or may not be able to go there, but we were just talking about Ethiopia, right? And right next door to Ethiopia is the country almost nobody gets into, and that's Eritrea.
Mm,
Yeah, so one of my goals is I'm trying to get into Eritrea, in the next coming months. We'll see how that works. I think I can get a visa for it when I'm in Addis. But that's one of those things like with the war situation that could change in the next couple of months. So I can't promise I'm going to go there, but that's a place that I would like to check out for many reasons. Like I said, nobody really goes there, so it's a big mystery, and that's where adventure is. When you go in places that aren't on the beaten path, everybody and their mama can go to Medellin. Everybody and their mama can go to Bali or Tulum, right? And those places are cool too, but it's just like, man, when the crowd is there, it changes the place, and you don't have that same, that same appeal that it would have had previously.
yeah, I can dig it. Now I can ask you about that a little bit. Now
Yeah, for
Eritrea,
sure.
you said is it like hard for people to get in? Or are you saying they not have no
I,
interest in getting in?
I think it's a little bit of everything. Like just like Burundi,
Mhm.
Burundi's not hard to get into. I mean, you do need a visa. You can't just go on visa free, but that's common for a lot of countries in East Africa. You
Mhm.
can't go to Uganda without a visa, but
Yeah.
people still go, right? But I think the Eritrea visa is maybe a little bit slower. So like you can't just like be like, okay, I'm going. You can't just show up on Monday and be like, yo, I'm leaving Wednesday. Like, give me a visa. Like,
Right.
no, I think you gotta, have at least like 2 weeks, kind of a thing. But I think out of anywhere, I think it's going to be easiest to get it in Addis because it's so close, and they're going to have a bigger type embassy there, based on what I've seen on Google. So yeah, like I said, it could change, but I'm going to try my hardest to go. I'll put it like that.
Right, right. You got my mind racing because I don't know why it's like that. It's like a couple African countries, like you say, like Angola,
The hidden ones, man.
Nigeria, Sudan. It's like
Yeah,
a couple places where I'm like, I want to go, but it's like I gotta write a letter, I gotta do this, I gotta send off too much shit. I'm like, I gotta go
yeah,
next week or next month or something. So I just try to hit the visa on arrival or the e
yes, sir.
visa or you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. You know.
Yeah, another one that people don't go to and everybody forgets about is Equatorial Guinea. You know which
Mm,
one that is? On the west side?
I never
Yeah, the
been,
west.
but I want to
Yeah,
go.
nobody's been. Nobody has been there.
Yeah. Don't they speak
Yeah,
Spanish?
yeah, they do. I don't know if you ever watched the guy Go Black to Africa.
Yeah, yeah, of course, yeah.
He hasn't even been, unless he went recently.
Wow.
But like, I've been
Uh-huh.
watching all his videos, and he goes everywhere. I think he's at like 40 countries now, and he still hasn't
Wow.
gone there. He's probably saving that for last because, yeah, it's a weird country because you got like the mainland, and then you have like an island, and so like
Mm.
half the country split in the mainland and half in the island. I think the capital's in the island, but then like the mainland just like is rainy all year or some weird stuff like that. And to get a visa is hard, but they got mad bread there. Like they got oil money. So it's like one of
Wow.
those really on the low countries, and they get money, but on the low.
Yeah.
And yeah, they do speak Spanish there, and also their own
Wow.
like local languages. But it'd be really interesting, I think, for me because I speak Spanish fluently, so I will definitely be able to,
Wow.
interact with people in a deeper way than somebody who would just show up there and only speaks English.
I can dig it. I can dig it. Let me
Yeah.
see how many minutes we got. We got about 5 more minutes to go, man. Let me see.
All right. All right.
I guess I could ask you, what do you feel like some of the misconceptions about travel and traveling to a place like you say in different parts of Africa or Asia, because people like I be going to say like Cape Verde or Ghana or even Botswana. Some of those countries, they crime rate is 2-3 times lower than say Cleveland or New
Sure.
Orleans
Yeah.
or St. Louis or Detroit or
Absolutely.
somewhere. But people be like, be safe, be careful out there. We praying for you. And I'll be like, I'm chilling. What are you talking about? You know?
Yeah. it's just a lack of information, man. That's all it comes
Mhm.
down to. And being scared of the unknown. I used to get that too when I first started traveling. Like one of the first places I went to, I guess that people would consider dangerous, other than Mexico, because you know how Mexico is. Well, was
Mhm.
Colombia. I was one of the first cats to really go out there when nobody was talking about it. And people was like, "You're gonna get kidnapped," because that's what was happening in the '90s. And now I'm not that old, right? But that was just the reputation people was remembering. I'm talking about like parents and stuff like that. They were remembering the what's his name, the Pablo days. They're like, "Oh, you're gonna get
Yeah.
kidnapped and all this stuff." And I'm like, yeah, I think it's changed a little bit. He's gone. You feel me? Um so yeah, I mean, people, it's just lack of information, really. Yeah.
Right, right. So, yeah, before we get up out of here, man, if you can tell them, a little bit more about the channel, how they can check you out, view you, support you, and if you got any other ventures going on, if you're writing a book, if you do music, you got a fashion line.
Yeah, for sure, man. No fashion line yet. I don't think I'm gonna put one out,
Right.
but yeah, I am. I'm actually working on a book right now, and that's going to detail the travels that I have here in Africa on the continent for 1 year. I think a lot of people will like it because I don't think there's been anything modern that's been done like that, where somebody is
Mhm.
consistently on the continent, like no breaks. They don't
Yeah.
they don't do 6 months here, then go back for Christmas or nothing like that. No, I'm talking about I'm here and I'm living and breathing this stuff every day as part of the diaspora, and reconnecting and putting all the pieces of Africa together, east, west, south, the islands. I'm putting it all together, and seeing the commonalities there. So that'll be coming. That's not going to be done until I'm done this trip. But in the present time, the channel is growing. It's J focused, right? And so over there, you're going to see interviews. You're going to see topics about dating. You're going to see vlogs of just me walking around and showing you, hey, this is what Burundi looks like. You've never seen this. This is
Mhm.
what a second tier city in Uganda looks like. Because everybody might know Kampala, but they may not know what Jinja looks like. They may not know what
Right.
Port Fortal looks like. So I'm doing that kind of stuff that nobody else is really showing you. And like I said, I also like to get down with the people, talk to the young ladies, see what their mind set is like in each country. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And beyond that, you also can hit me on the IG, and that's J Focus, the same way it's spelled at the bottom here, and then the number one. And it's the same on Cash App, the same way if you want to support me. You see a young brother doing some things, and you know, also if you would like to get a consultation, you can hit me the same way on that IG. If you're thinking about coming to the continent, hey, here's a brother who's doing it. He's got receipts all day long. You can see what I'm doing. And not just Africa, traveling the world. If you're about to go to Latin America, I'm fluent in Spanish, Portuguese. I've been all over, you name it. So maybe I could save you some time, some stress on your vacation. Hit a brother up and we could chop it up. All right.
Man, that's what's up. Yeah, people need to definitely take advantage of that because when I guess jumped off the porch, I ain't had nobody to turn to. So I took some bumps and some bruises that they may
Yes.
not have to take.
Yes. Yeah, man. You can save your time, and the stress. Things can be smooth or they can be rocky. Like, why wouldn't you want it to be smooth?
Yeah, most definitely, especially if they just starting out, they beginner. So if y'all viewing this, man, reach out to them for them consultation. That could change your whole entire trip just to have everything just flow smooth for you, man. That's
Absolutely. Yeah.
priceless. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
man. No, go ahead.
no, no. I didn't know if you
Oh,
wanted to
okay.
wrap it up.
Right, yeah, I'm gonna go and wrap it up, man. I know you got moves to make. So yeah, I want to thank the viewers for tuning in, and I definitely want to thank you for coming on the platform. It's an honor, man. I'm watching what you're doing. You inspiring me. You keeping me motivated. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
All right, man. Appreciate you. For one last time, this is your guy, Jay Focus, reminding you to stay focused out here. Yeah.